all that. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the 21st episode of the Cabrini Kid podcast. I'm your host, David Haywood, the champ, the Cabrini Kid himself. We got a full stage with us today. We got a very even panel that's going to give us a whole lot of insight, and I'm blessed and I'm glad to have everybody here with us today. We got Kadriana here with us. Say what's up to the people.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
We got KP checking back in with us. We're going to have to get that that sound effect for him. And then we got JoJo coming back for us, our first repeat. Yes, coming in.
Wait, shout out. Go ahead and shout them out now. My big dogs.
She wants to shout out Ohio State. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
University of Iowa. We already played our game. It is what it is. But we got another great show for you guys today. So I'm gonna kick it off with our lead in. Today's topic is going to be old school women with new age attitudes. And I think that first, before I get into it, I want to say everybody like, subscribe, share. Down below, you see a number. You can call into the show and speak with us on the show. Call in. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Can you be an old school woman with a new age attitude? Is that possible? I'm gonna kick it off by saying no, you cannot. You cannot be old school with a new age attitude. And the reason I say that is because your ideals that are attached to being old school have changed over the last 40, 50, 60 years. And a lot of us weren't even alive then, right? And we were being coached and taught by our parents who couldn't foresee how the world was going to change. So now that the world has changed, does those same teachings apply to today's world?
I think so. I do. I think you can be an old school woman and have a new school flair to you. I think you need to. Like you said, this isn't 40, 50 years ago. This is 2025. And so I think you can merge the two together.
I don't know. I don't know if saying, I want you to open the door for me, but I'm prepared to pay for half my meal works in 2025. I don't know if that ideal works in 2025.
I think the standard that you set in the beginning is the standard you almost have to uphold throughout the continuation of the relationship. Meaning, if you start the expectation that the man needs to pay for every date or the man needs to get the door, then if you sprinkle in like, I'll pick up the drink tab every once in a while, I'll pay for the Uber every once in a while, but that should be a treat if I have that old school mentality because I've set that standard with my partner, with the person I'm dating, whoever it is, that's kind of the expectation. I feel like the woman sets that tone, I feel like, though, right? Because I feel like as a woman, we pick our date. We pick the person we want to go out with. I think that's one of the things that we discussed the last time I was on this show is like, who, you know, if a woman shaves her legs, is she getting into bed with the guy that night? Was she prepared, right? Like, I think that kind of mentality has to be set from the beginning. So if you're kind of wishy-washy about it, if you're like, I don't know where I stand, I personally feel like you can't be both then, because you can't expect one thing and then take it back and then be another way and pick and choose your battles, I guess.
So basically you're saying if you're going to be old school, you have to stick to it. You can't flip-flop between Monday I want to be old school, Tuesday I want to be new age.
Right.
But what about the money part? See, that's where I think you need to have a new school mentality. To be an old school woman, you have to be willing to stay at home, to let 100% of the finances be on the man, and you make nothing. That's where I just don't agree. I think you have to be able to be independent in today's society.
But why? Why do you feel like you have to be independent in today's society?
The divorce rate. The divorce rate is very high, and we would all love to think we're going to marry the person and stay married together, but stats just show us that's not always the case. And it's like, you get in the car, you put a seatbelt on just in case. You need to be able to sustain yourself just in case.
KP, I feel like
you're oddly silent.
You're digesting cautiously.
Yeah, I don't really know much about this. I don't really know much about this particular topic. I don't really understand the new or the old.
Sure you do. I mean, your parents are old school.
Yeah.
And you are new age.
Yeah, I mean, but
so you've dated women who probably subscribe to both.
Do you feel like KP that when you're meeting women, do you feel like they have that expectation of you to pay for everything, you to be the provider? That would be old school, right? Like they don't have a job maybe, or if they do have a job, they want to get out of working to stay home and be a homemaker, which I told you guys last time, that's a full-time job. Being a mom is a full-time job. But do you feel like, I think the question is, do you feel like as a man that you're seeing more women be one or the other? Or are you seeing more women want both?
I would say that I see more women want. I think most women nowadays, they want their own. But they want their own, but they want to spend someone else's. That's what I think.
Do you feel like they want to have their own but spend someone else's because of the deficiencies of men now, or just because of their I guess like increased like drive now in 2025 as opposed to, you know, what either like their mom or their grandma might have had? Do you think that they want to have more of their own and have more stake in a relationship because they saw what their moms and grandmothers went through? Or do you think it's because men now behave a certain way as opposed to men back then?
I think I just think that most women, I don't want to generalize, but I think that they want to earn what they want to earn, make as much money as they want to make, which is great. But then they want the man to spend all of their money on all of their habits and all of their things. And then when a man doesn't want to do those things anymore, then there's an issue. Where they got that from, I'm not really sure. So, you know, I try to stay as far away from those women as I possibly can because that's not my cup of tea.
So you feel like you don't see yourself being a breadwinner?
Yeah, I could be. Yeah, for sure. I don't. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not going to go into the relationship. Oh, I got to make more money than my woman. No, that's not. No, I don't have that thought process at all. But I would love to, from a male's POV, I would want to make more money than my woman. Yes.
So who pays the bills? So when you're in a relationship, you go 50-50? Does she have to, you split the rent, the mortgage? How would that look in your relationship?
I mean, I think we've already talked about this a couple episodes ago, so I don't want to stay too much on it. But if we're married, I think that's a different scenario than in a relationship. If in a relationship, I stand where I stand the same time I said the other day or the last time. If we're in a relationship, I'm 50-50. If we're married, then, you know, I'm okay with footing the bill for everything else.
So you're traditional if you're married, new age with dating. Well, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I guess, like I said, I don't really understand the terminology. So I mean, so yeah, I guess, but yeah. Like the camera thing is throwing me off because it's.
And me too. What's going on with the camera today?
I was switching it to the person that was talking, but we don't have to switch it. I can leave it how it is.
I gotta see who I'm talking
to.
Fine.
Yeah. That's fine. So if what I'm understanding, KP, from you is correct, there's a dating KP and there's a husband KP. Dating KP says, I need 50% of our expenses as a couple. But not necessarily monetarily, 50% effort, half of the effort of our relationship. But husband KP is, I'm willing to carry the brunt, the majority of that weight on my own.
So I thought we were only talking like financially. If we're talking, like,
well, no, because remember at the beginning we were talking about like getting the door. Like there are men that genuinely won't get a door for a woman. Like that to me is an inexcusable act.
I agree.
I will stop in front of the door.
Wholeheartedly,
You better get that door because otherwise we're both stuck here.
I agree. But I mean, like we talked about this before. I totally agree. But I'm probably not getting your door after I get out the car.
I remember we did bring that up. You're like, I'll get it on the way in the car.
Okay. Whoa.
Not
so you're not gonna like open it? Because I'll wait. I'm like,
right.
I'll wait.
No,
wait. You just gonna sit in the car and wait for him to come around and open it?
Yeah.
I do. It's like a habit. Yes.
So if we are walking, like I'm a door opener. Like I think to me, that part is a little ridiculous, but I'm a door opener 1,000% of the time. If we are coming from my apartment, going to my car, open the door. Right? We drive to the restaurant. Am I getting out and opening her door? No, I'm not. When we leave the restaurant, am I opening up her door? Am I opening up the door to the restaurant? Yes. Like when we leave, am I opening up the door? Yes. As soon as we get to my car, am I opening up the door? Yes. When we get back to my place, am I going back, getting out of my car to open the door? No, I'm not doing that. That's too much.
I know your ass is in the gym every day. Get those steps in. Go get out of that car.
That's
door.
for you see, and that's what I'm saying. For a woman to think that is plausible every single time, I think that is ridiculous.
But there are men, I promise you, and I'm not exaggerating.
So when you guys get back home,
when I dated,
he will open up the door for you.
It's like a Farnsworth Bentley, but he's a boyfriend.
They will open the door, like, and I went to open the door the one time. He's like, "Hey, hold on, just patient," and he opened the door for me. So there are men who will do it.
What date was that?
This was last week.
No, how many dates in was that?
Huh?
Oh.
How many dates in was it?
The whole time, like 3 months in, he's still doing it. The whole time, my ex-husband, the whole entire marriage, opened the door, but he was Southern. That's just how Southern men are. He opened the door, we go somewhere, he gets out, he comes, he opens the door.
And then when you guys get back to the house, he gets out of the
always
way.
Door.
No way.
I promise you, there are men who saw their daddy do that, and that's just natural.
Thank you. Oh, Geneva agree with me. Oh my God. What? Geneva agree with me. Oh my God.
But I'm saying there are
Geneva said, I agree with KP. If a guy is opening my doors that much, it's too much.
Thank you. That is too much.
Honestly, there's probably some women that would be sitting here right now saying that gives them the ick. So it's like nobody can win. Nobody can win.
I like it. I don't mind.
But is that because they're just not used to it?
Probably.
It gives them the ick because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's wrong.
No.
That means they're not used to it, which means it's probably a bigger indictment on their decisions as opposed to the guys. My guy Nick Jones agreeing with KP too. Nick Jones, Iowa alumni.
Okay.
Right?
If he's having a good night right now, let's start it off, baby.
Phi Beta Sigma in the house. I'm not gonna. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily say it's too much.
Stop it.
But I also don't feel like I've ever done that. Like I don't think I've ever pulled up to a place and went around and got
pander. Don't pander.
No. I'm not pandering. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's too much, but I don't think I've ever done that. Like leaving the crib, open the door, yes. Get to the restaurant, open the door, yes. Like leave the restaurant, open the door to the car, yes. I don't think I've ever opened every single door. Omega Sci-Fi, my bad. Omega Sci-Fi.
I don't think that I would necessarily expect it, but I do think that you have an opportunity to show what you're capable of at that first date, right? That's kind of, again, goes back to what I was saying about it's setting the expectation in the first date. If I don't open my door and you come around and you get it, that's my expectation of you. I'm moving forward. I'm assuming you're a man that's going to get the door for me. And I feel like that's a make or break moment to let me know of where you're at as a gentleman. Are you willing to go the extra mile? Things of that nature. Because I've had men not do that, right? And in my head, I'm like, noted. He doesn't get the door.
Did that disqualify him from further dates?
No, but it does make you aware, right? Mm-hmm. It makes you aware of, okay, what else is he doing or won't do in terms of that aspect of chivalry?
Oh, cut it out.
Completely agree.
We need to ask Facebook because
thank you, Meg. That's one for JoJo.
I'm with you, JoJo.
Put it on the tab.
Pardo, cut it out. Pardo, you know damn well if a dude was opening up your door, Pardo, you would be like,
yes.
Whatever.
Yes, sis.
You would feel love. I feel like women now, in 2025 would feel love bombed. A guy doing that now would give them, like JoJo said, the ick. You giving me the ick because you're doing too much too soon. It's date one. You open up every door. I can't touch nothing. This is kind of weird to me. It's too much for me.
And she's going to tell her girlfriends or her mom, and her mom's going to be like, oh my God, isn't that a bit much? And then she's going to be like, well, I like that. I like that. Well, no, you opened up the door way too many times.
I've never heard of a woman complaining. I just
never.
I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I like it, and I've had it happen so many times that I know. I don't want to say I expect it, but I do sit.
You're aware of it. You're aware of it.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And if a guy doesn't, I definitely think, oh, he must not be, like, he's not super gentleman-like. That's my first instinct is, oh, okay.
So if a guy does that and says, I'm willing to go the extra mile, and KP, you know where I'm probably going with this. If a guy does that and says, I'm willing to go the extra mile, you will never touch a door handle as long as we're on this date. Are you going to follow through on your end?
Rub my knob.
Are you going to follow through? Which you said no?
No, I said what is my end? Like, what are we talking?
You going to follow in? Are you going to follow through with your end of the social contract? I've done everything. You haven't touched the doorknob. I paid for the date. You had everything that you wanted to have on the menu. He's checked all the boxes. Are you willing to follow through with your end?
Like dog.
Is that have you written a check? At that point, have you written a check that at the end of the night you got to cash?
No, because sex is never something that should be expected ever. Facts. Especially just for doing that. If you're doing that for sex, you need to go hire a prostitute because you clearly think that you can get a service in exchange for just being a gentleman. No.
So not letting you open.
No, that doesn't mean
really it doesn't get you anywhere.
No.
So really it doesn't get you anywhere.
It doesn't get you anywhere if you do it or if you don't.
Doesn't automatically equal you're entitled to getting some ass. Can I say that?
You can say what you want.
That's crazy.
No, is that what you guys think? The nicer this woman,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I don't believe that sentiment, but I'm not opening up the door on the way, and I'm not getting out of the car and opening up the door. I'm sorry.
But KP, that is what we're talking about when we say traditional, right? That is a traditional mindset of a woman.
My dad doesn't do that with his wife.
Maybe he's not a traditional man. He might not be what
that would be new age, right? Right.
Yeah. So you said, WTF, David? How is that part of the social contract? Mm-hmm. Because when you're dating, and I don't think that any woman in our age bracket, even probably younger than us, and I know we kind of are. I might be the oldest person here, but I know that even though we have a little bit of a span in ages, if a guy's doing X, Y, Z, at some point he's hoping that it pays off in his favor. If you let him do X, Y, Z, in his mind, he's thinking, okay, it's going to happen. May not necessarily be the first date. May not be the second date. May not be the third date for whatever reason. But if you're letting him do X, Y, Z for 3 days straight, he's expecting that. And I don't think that any woman who's an adult would say, I don't think he's expecting for this to end in a particular way. I think he's just taking me out because he wants to be a gentleman and open every door that I touch. Like, I don't think that that's the case. Like,
that's crazy.
That's not realistic. Women know that guys want it to end a certain way.
I don't think it's realistic to think you can
It's a date. It stands for dick at the end of the night.
That just doesn't seem. To me, that's the problem with him. You can't. You can't expect. Because then why are you doing it? Are you only doing it in hopes to get laid? Because that's a whole nother issue.
No,
right?
you're doing it.
Time.
No, you're doing it in hopes that it doesn't prevent that from happening.
So you're okay. So you're checking all the boxes in hopes that it gives you a better chance for that. Not an expectation.
Yeah, like you don't want to not do something and then her be like, well, you weren't really that big, you weren't that gentlemanly to me, and maybe we can go on a second date. For a woman who would say that, right? She might call, and there are women out there who might call out like, there were certain things you didn't do on the first date, but I'm open to going on a second date. I feel like there's probably more women who may not say that afterwards and be like, hey, like, yeah, I'd like to go out with you again. And you're kind of just left to wondering, like, what did I miss? What is it as a guy that I missed that I did not do, that did not convince her?
Well, I think, we talked about this the last time I was on here too, though. It's also maybe becoming more of a old school way of thinking, but I mean, KP's laughing at me. I always think about that guy who would not pay for the bill. Remember my story about how he forgot his wallet? He doesn't have Apple Pay. It's like, I mean, there are men that actually must be successful with having women pay for them at this point. Because if that guy tried it, he had to have been successful at some point. So with that being said, it's like, I don't think that is a traditional mindset to expect the first date to be paid for. I don't think that has ever changed. I don't think that is something that should ever be traditional or new age. The man asking you out should always pay for the first date, point blank, period. I'm just thinking of other points that are like new age or more traditional or old school. But I was just thinking about that while you were talking and thinking like, what are some other things that would be considered new age? Paying for a man? Would you allow a woman to pay for you? If she's like, no, I'm new age. I'll get the tab, KP. I got you.
For sure.
You would let a woman pay?
For sure, on the first date. Yeah.
Knock it off.
On a first date?
Bailey said for opening the door and paying a check, that's wild.
Oh, shout out Bailey. That's my girl. That's my girl.
No, not on the first date. No. In general,
let her pay.
Not on the first date. No.
What if she asked you out? What if she said,
"A girl's never paid for the first date"?
No.
Even if she asked you out,
you're young. It'll happen.
No, I don't agree with that. I think the man should always pay on the first date.
And that's not a traditional or old school. You're like, that's just the rule.
In my personal opinion, that's the rule. Now,
would you let her pay for the second date?
Yeah.
Oh, you're foul for that. Knock it off.
Yeah, I would.
Kadriana, would you pay for a first date?
No.
No, she ain't paying for no dates.
No.
Kadriana ain't paying for no dates. What are you talking about?
No dates. No dates.
I don't.
I personally think that it is sexy if a woman says, "Don't worry, I got it. Like Neo said. Oh, she said. So like, I mean, you don't gotta reach in your pocket. I got it. Like if that's, I mean, I got the next date, and maybe have the next date, and the next date, and the next day. I might not have you ever reach in your pocket ever again. But that shows me that you reach in your pocket once. That shows me you're willing to again. Now, if you're some little you know, I ain't gonna say it, a little, you know,
A little what? Yeah, I'm
but
not following.
What?
I'm a sense that. I'm a sense that. As soon as I sense that.
Okay. I'm not for men like you, but you know what? There are plenty that are. I've never had a problem with it. They have
you never had a problem with a man paying for
I've had
every
one
time
guy
y'all
in
left
my
the house.
dating life. One man pulled.
Hey, let me ask you this.
My wallet,
hey, real talk. Hey, real
and
talk.
that was it.
Hey, real talk. Let me ask you this, and I want you to take your Kadriana hat off for a second, okay?
I don't know what that even means.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Don't be Kadriana. Don't be Kadriana.
I want you to move outside.
Kadriana, by the way.
Kadriana. Don't be Kadriana.
I'm sorry, Kadriana. I apologize. So I want you to go outside your body for a second, right?
Okay.
What do you think, in your honest opinion? And I have a good feeling of the kind of men that you deal with, so I'm not gonna really. I may not be going anywhere with this, but Jordan will probably understand where I'm coming from. What do you think that those men that are paying every single time that you are going out with them, like what do you think they are saying or talking about to their guy friends? And what do you think their potential guy friends are saying to them about them doing that?
Well, the type of men that I date, they're guys.
No. You go outside your body.
Because I'm like, their guy friends would actually be like, you let her pay? So I don't know. Like, I'm sure if I was outside of my body and I was you, I would say, ugh, that girl, she doesn't pay ever. Who does she think she is? Or something like that. Because that's I only feel like guys who care about stuff like that are guys who want a woman to coddle to them, do 50-50. Like they want everything to be the same. But then they expect that same woman at home to do all of that and go 50-50. Men like that, men who are established, who are raised with certain values, they don't have these conversations. They're not complaining about paying for dinner.
That's not true.
I don't want to say this, but it's the men who are just not there are the only ones that complain about 50-50.
That's not true.
You'll never hear a guy that was raised with traditional values that really like upholds his masculinity and being a gentleman complain about paying for a woman. You just
so masculinity is tied to paying for everything.
It's not. It's tied
in her world.
No, it's tied to being able to.
She's outside her body.
Be a provider.
No, she's not.
AP, you put her outside her body.
Yeah.
She's very much in her body right now.
I think that it's not about the money. It's about demonstrating that you can provide for a woman. Demonstrating
you would not. Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
Would you date a dude who checked all your boxes?
Yeah.
Would you what? Would you date him?
What? What did you say?
Would you date a guy who checked all of your boxes? Well, like whatever those boxes may be, whatever your perfect guy is, he checked all of those boxes. Like, would you date that dude?
Yes, I would date him.
Okay. Would you date that same guy if he made $40,000 a year?
Yes. Because you can make $40,000 a year, and I know that's his income. I'm not expecting him to take me. I don't expect any guy to take me anywhere extravagant. It's just
wait.
Take me to McDonald's, and as long as he pays, that just shows me that he's willing to do that.
No, you would not go to McDonald's. Stop it.
I would. I've gone to McDonald's.
I would go to Taco Bell.
I would. I just went to Taco Bell.
JoJo, I don't feel like you are a McDonald's type of.
Yes, I am.
Let some dude say, "Hey, let's go to Taco Bell." She's gonna look at him like he's crazy. Let's cut it out.
It's going down that night.
I have actually gone on dates
down that night.
Taco Bell is fun. After the club, yes, I've done Taco Bell. I was 20.
She said I was 20.
KP, I just had this discussion in the girls group chat. We just talked about this in the girls group chat of what we're accepting in 2025 and what we're not. Thank you, Bailey. Taco Bell for the win. We are no longer accepting the bare minimum from men. And if that means you're 5'8", but you are checking all the boxes, you're getting a chance. If you're making $40K a year, but you're checking all the boxes, you're getting a chance because
y'all been doing that.
But you know what we call that in 2025, y'all? That's called a unicorn. Because you're not going to find that, right? So I don't need you to be 6'6" anymore. I don't need you to make 100K because there are men that are not doing those things that are getting beautiful women, and it makes no sense to me. It breaks my brain.
But y'all have already been doing that. Y'all have already been giving those chances to those guys, and then 3 months in, you're like, he's not tall enough. He's not cute enough. He don't make enough money. He don't take me out enough. He don't do enough. And then y'all move on to the next dude.
No, that's cap.
Children do that. Real women don't do that.
That's cap.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because I think that the men that believe that women were doing that are the same men that are getting mad at women that weren't doing that. So what I mean by that is I see it on social media all the time that men are like, God, girls are so mean. I have to be 6'6". Okay, that means that they weren't getting a chance. So now I'm saying we're giving those men a chance.
But that's not what you want, so you're still not gonna be happy.
You don't know that.
You still want a dude who's 6'6", but you're gonna give a guy who's 5'8".
Every dude is 6'6" to me. I'm 5'5", so every dude is 6'6" to me.
Man, this is
I'm
malarkey.
tiny.
I mean, like for one person's experience that over the last few episodes that's been shared. Like I know Kadriana has said that she gave a chance to a guy who was not her type. She married him, and it ended badly.
Yeah.
So it's you saying, well, in 2025, we're going to give chances to guys that we typically wouldn't date.
Well,
we know how it's going to end because we know that that's not what you want. So
I don't know.
You're not playing us, you're playing yourself.
No, I don't know her from a can of paint. And I mean this with love, respect, and peace and kindness. But that dude was probably a piece of shit from the beginning and we didn't catch it. And that's on us as women. Yeah. More oftentimes than not, we ignore the red flags at the beginning that result in the end of the relationship. So odds are we gave that good guy a chance, but he was not a good guy. He was probably faking it. And I've been in situations like that before too. I've been like, man, you know what? This guy really isn't my type, but I'm going to give him a try because he's a good dude. And that same dude is sharing sheets with the neighbor. So he was not a good dude, but he fooled me, and that's on me. I have to take some responsibility too, right? And this isn't just to Kadriana's point, but it's just to everybody, right? That it's like, I think it's more so about finding the good person for you that matches all those boxes. There were probably boxes that we didn't check along the way. And we said, 8 out of 10, that's fine. Yeah. But it's those 2 other boxes that screwed us in the end.
That is true. That is so true. Because my situation, it was similar conversation. My girlfriend, you need maybe lower your standards, give him a chance. And I did. And so that's why for me, there's certain things I won't negotiate on it.
Right. If you keep that standard right there, a lot less people be checking those boxes. Yeah. A lot less people. It's a lonely life up there.
But I feel like what you just said was meaning a lot more people are going to check the boxes because you're casting a broader net. Before you were like, I want 6'6", $100,000 a year, drives a nice car, has his own house. Now you're like, I'm open to 5'5", $40,000 a year, only one roommate, and even if he drive a Toyota Tercel, long as it runs good, but long as he treat me good, I'm with it. And everybody knows, including you, that's not gonna work. it's not going to work because one day you're going to roll over next to that man and be like, I can do better.
Can't we all, though? I mean, if you live in that mindset of I can always do better, you will always be unsatisfied.
I agree. You'll always be looking for better.
Always be looking for better.
But I think that if you meet someone and you're like, this is my match, then you're not looking for better anymore. If you meet somebody and you're like, he'll do, I'll give him a shot, then yeah, you're gonna always feel like I can do better.
But wouldn't that depend on what your boxes are? Like if he checks all the boxes, then you're not saying he'll do. If your box is he has to be 6'6", then yeah, if you go for a guy that's 5'8", it's a problem. So what's your box?
Kadriana, what's your box? What are your boxes?
Are you talking about me? Well, I have just different things. Like for me, the top things are just, I need, the morals is number one. I need somebody who is a family guy. I'm very family oriented. Like, so those are my priorities. The money and stuff, they're not on my priority list because I know money can come and go. It's not, people get money and lose money all the time. Mm-hmm. But for me, certain things like, and being a gentleman, that's a non-negotiable for me. I don't want a guy that I have to open the door for him or he forgets his wallet. I don't want that. I want a guy who I know if he says he has it, he has it. End of the day. I don't want a feminine guy. I don't want a guy that kind of wants to be a girlfriend sometimes, kind of wants to be the other days. I don't want that.
We went from show me some effort to you feminine. Now we're going to be sassy.
She's a demasculator, dude. She's a demasculator.
I'm a demasculator. I feel like if I'm uplifting guys, like you should want to be that. Like,
how's that uplifting?
I want my guy to feel like a king. I don't want him to want to be a princess.
How is that uplifting?
How is it not uplifting? If when you want to be a gentleman, if we're together, I'd be like, hey, P, open the door. Like, why don't you want to do that?
Well, that wouldn't be an issue.
How is that not uplifting to make
that wouldn't be an issue. That wouldn't my woman wouldn't have to tell me to open the door. But what I'm saying is that what you're saying is total caparoonie.
How is that not uplifting?
And what Jordan is saying is total caparoonie too, because
okay, here we go.
you guys are both capping to the 10th degree and talking about all this.
Talk to me.
What? Yeah,
why?
It's every guy season. Any guy can get any guy got a chance. Oh, and then we got Kadriana over here talking. Oh, I wouldn't care if he would Taco Bell or McDonald's. It doesn't matter. It's not tied to that. Bull crap. If he can't pay for stuff, if he can't afford to do things for you, you're not entertaining said dude. As simple as that.
That's not true. That's not true.
You just said if a dude can't pay for something, you don't want to be bothered with that type of guy.
If you can't afford to pay for a female to go on a date, you should not be dating. Your priorities are not.
But that doesn't matter. That's what that person wants to do. You just said.
Don't date me. I'm not your girl.
Right. So I'm right. You wouldn't entertain someone
because that to me, if you are like, why do you're making?
You don't know their situation until you know their situation.
So if he takes me to Taco Bell, he can pay for our Taco Bell. If he's like, oh, sorry, I can't pay for it. Okay, I get it. But I'm not going to keep dating somebody he's not where he needs to be.
So,
exactly. What you're saying, a gentleman and take a girl out on a date. Why is he dating?
So what you're saying is it doesn't matter where the date is.
It doesn't.
You have to be able to take care of it.
You have to be able to pay for the date.
Liberty says manly men always pay for the meals.
In my world, I think so too. You have no business going on a date if you can't afford to pay for the date.
I just had this conversation the other day with somebody. The date itself doesn't necessarily matter, but it's it's the effort. And you could tell me, hey, we're going to meet up at Piedmont Park. We're going to get a coffee at Starbucks and we're going to walk at the park. My coffee costs $7. But if I'm vibing with you, I'm going to go on that date. Even though it's only a $7 coffee and a free walk in the park, the date doesn't matter. But did you put in the effort, whatever? If I said, I love nature, I love being outside, blah, blah, blah. And you took that and you took it into heart and you planned a nice date. That's an example of maybe I, at the time, to KP's point, don't know what your financial situation is. But if I've agreed to it and we're vibing, the date itself doesn't matter. And I love Taco Bell. So, I mean, I'm a bad example. I was there 2 nights ago.
Liberty said a manly man should be ashamed for even thinking of sharing the bill.
I agree.
Yeah, that's
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with
that. I think that attaching a man's worth
that's what women are good for.
Pocketbook is insane. Insane, because men are all over the chart when it comes to yearly earnings, right?
Yeah.
There are men who make 25, 30 grand a year. There are men who make $1 million a year.
That ain't shit.
And a woman will still make less than that.
And
but
so the guy that makes 25 grand.
We're not gonna get into that.
I think you should date within your bracket. If you don't make that much, don't take her somewhere you can't afford. Like JoJo said, if you could, a coffee date is good enough.
Zach.
Hey, listen, it's not about taking the female somewhere like where they can afford. If they want to take you out anywhere, I think it depends on where. If he's taking you out on less than standard places, date to date, it doesn't have to be Taco Bell. Let's just get serious here. It could be a Chili's or Applebee's. If he takes you there multiple times, you're gonna start to think, at some point, I want to go somewhere a little bit nicer. And you're probably gonna ask what's going on. And then when he tells you what's going on, that's when you're probably gonna stop entertaining said person.
No,
that's not true. That's literally not. I literally just had this happen.
Cass said, "I'm not going to eat with her if I don't got it." That's just how some people was raised.
Exactly.
Well,
if you can't pay for it, you should not be going on a date.
Than that. There's more context to it than that, Cass, because it's not that. It's not that you can't. It's not that you can't take her anywhere. Is that some women want to go to certain types of places.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you guys assumed that I was that woman. I've gone on dates to Chili's. I've gone on dates to Applebee's. Like, they just paid. That's the only thing for me. You have to pay.
How long ago was that? In college?
I do coffee dates a lot, actually. I do first date coffee dates quite often because sometimes you don't want to do a whole meal with somebody you don't know.
Liberty says, if you want to date the best women, then be manly about it and realize you pay, not her. And I feel like that's kind of that's what's gone wrong. I feel like with dating, because it's attached to what you're willing to spend. And now you're not talking about dating. You're talking about
a transaction.
It's transactional, right? Now we're talking about prostitution. now we're getting into pay to play, because if I take you to Mastro's, I'm good, but if I take you to Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers, you're like, well, I'm more of an Ocean 44 type of girl, and now I'm out of the running because there's another guy who's going to take you to Ocean 44. Like,
I think this is honestly one of the most fundamental flaws between male and female mindset. Because hear me out. I just had this conversation the other day. I was quite literally arguing with a gentleman because he said, "Do you want to hang out?" I said, "Sir, I don't hang out." And he said, "Well, I want to take you to go out to eat." I'm like, then that's a date. Call it what it is. We're not calling it a hangout. We're not in college. I'm not coming to your dorm room.
You
right?
Want to kick it? You trying to
kick
it?
But because I said that, he said, "Oh, so you're one of those girls. You're going to expect me to drop a cool 200, huh?" I said, "I didn't say that. I'm saying I don't want you to call it a hangout because I'm not 21. And then we got into a big argument about this because he said, well, I'm in a place in my life where I don't want to drop hundreds of dollars on a woman until I get to know her. Then how are you going to get to know her? Unless she's going to pull up at your crib and stay over and hang out and watch movies at your house, which as a single woman, we're not doing that.
Nah, y'all
we've been killed for less. Okay. No, don't say y'all, because I'm not doing it. I'm not pulling up to somebody's house on a first date. That's crazy.
I hope not.
Y'all sisters are doing it.
That's so dangerous. Ladies, stop doing that. That's not safe.
Blink twice if you're in trouble, because I'm concerned.
Cass says that comes down to the choice of person you choose to date. And that's where a lot of conversation comes into play, right? That's where like a lot of like you don't have to ask them what's your favorite restaurant, but there are a roundabout ways you can find out what type of woman or man you're dealing with. Like if you're dealing with a woman, if you say like, hey, like I like Chinese food, what do you like? She's like, I only like steak. Now you thinking, well, when I take her out to our first date, I got to take her to a steakhouse because she says she likes steak. I don't want to take her to a corny steakhouse. I want to take her to a good steakhouse. So if you listen as a guy, you're getting clues as to what she is expecting or what she's used to, or at least what she aspires to. She may not even be used to it. She may not even be used to guys taking her to places like that. But, and this is kind of a flaw between guys, is that you can project something at her and says like, I can get him to take me to a steakhouse. I don't typically go to steakhouse. I ain't never been to Fogo, but I can get him to take me to Fogo. And that's, like I said, that's a flaw between guys in the way that we approach situations. But when you're out and you're dating and you're meeting people and you're having these conversations, if you listen, you'll know what type of person you're dealing with. And if that person if you're just like, I can't afford that, then that person is not for you. But that also goes back to what I said originally, is that dating has become, what can you afford? And that is, from a man's perspective, I feel like that's where dating's gone wrong. It's no longer about like, hey, you and I vibe, let's get together. It's, what can you afford? Yeah. Where can I take? And this is just a man's perspective. Kadriana and JoJo, y'all might disagree, but KP, I'm sure you can agree with me is in saying that it's all become about what can you do to separate yourself from the competition.
I agree.
But I don't think that men should have to. I think if you know that that's not you, those aren't the dates you try to take a woman to. Like if you know you can't uphold that, do what you can do. Most women, I promise you, it's not about the cost of the date. It's not about where we go. It's about the thought that was put behind it. And really, like the vibe for me, you can take me to a coffee shop. I actually think for the first date, I don't think you should take somebody somewhere really expensive. I actually think that's silly because you don't know them. You might go spend a lot of money and have a miserable time.
Right.
Let's do coffee, do something low key first. And then the second date, the third date, take them to nicer places if that's something you can do or you want to do.
So if a guy on the first date said, let's do a picnic, you'd be cool with that?
Yes, that's cute. That really
is cute.
KP like,
I think that's cute.
I think that's
Remember you said women want a protector, a provider. That means men do their proper role, pay for the damn meal.
Now, if a dude said that something like that about a woman, it'd be holy uproar.
Well, because you guys were the ones that made that whole pay for play. Because you said, oh, guys do this and they're expecting that. That's not what we're thinking. So we're not the ones that add the transaction to it. If you think you're going to get something out of taking someone out to a date, that's you. That's you that add that.
She's cooking. She's cooking.
I don't think that it's men who made it pay for play. I don't.
Zach,
It's
do
not
not
us.
side with
I
KP.
think that with the evolution of,
Boot him.
and I'm saying this,
Boot him.
I think that with the evolution of time, and I probably would blame most of it on social media. Women who like in the 50s met a guy who lived at the end of their block would be like, okay, you can take me to go get burgers and fries at the Steak and Shake. This in the 50s. Now she got Instagram. And she got a dude from the next state over saying, I'm gonna fly you out to Miami for the weekend. All expenses paid. In her mind, she's thinking, well, this is my worth. If he's offering me all expenses paid trip to Miami for the weekend, or Vegas, if you're in LA, or if you're in Arizona, he gonna take me to Vegas for the weekend or San Diego for the weekend, and I don't have to pay anything. That's that. I'm going that way. The dude that want to take me to Steak and Shake, even though he's nice, I'm not going that direction. I'm going over here with the dude who say he gonna take me to San Diego for the weekend to and all expenses paid, and I don't have to pay nothing.
I'm the worst person to have on this show for something like that, because I am a ride or die. I am such a ride or die. I have turned down those trips for a man who cheated anyways. So I am the worst example of that, because I am faithful. I am a ride or die. This man was making $40K. We were splitting the bills 50-50. And I was turning down those DMs for free flights for this man just to find out he was cheating.
Right. So you would want, so deep down, you wish you had took the trip.
I should have taken the trips. These men are now in the starting five for the Lakers, and I'm sitting here.
Like, if I'm gonna get cheated on anyway, I might as well take the trip.
I should have taken the trip, y'all. It's crazy, but see, that's where I'm saying it's like, it seems as if there's no winning, right? Because it's like, when I've been the ride or die, it is screwed me over time and time again. Yeah. And when I've gone the opposite way and said, okay, I'm gonna take these people up on these dates, on these offers, I'm shallow. There's no winning when you're a woman. Mm-hmm. There really isn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I can sit here and say I have expectations, and then it's like, well, you require too much. I know KP seen my close friends the other day. I asked a man for a date. I said, well, I would love to get to know you on a date. And he goes, you're asking too much. Because I asked for a date? I mean, it's like, I cannot win here. Like, this is crazy. Y'all are crazy.
Hey, Kadriana, what do you think?
He said Kadriana.
So I'm not a flight girl. I'm not one of those girls that take trips to Miami, and I don't do that. So I would be I'm loyal. Like, if I'm already with somebody, I don't even see other people. I'm not even entertaining it. So
no, we're not. I'm not talking about like entertaining other people. I'm talking about
money. It's not the money, because money is not impressive. I need you guys to understand that. That does not impress us. Anybody can have money. It's the personality, it's the quality of the man. It's not the money.
So if you met two guys,
okay,
all things being considered equal, and one guy said, let's go to McDonald's, and the other guy said, hey, I got this place in Malibu for the weekend to go to my cousin's wedding. Will you go with me? All things created equal. They're both nice. They're both attractive to you. They both are gentlemen. They both have good conversation. They're the same height. Whatever is the attractive height to you. Which date are you taking? They're both
I'm gonna plan the weekend in Miami and a Monday date with the other guy when I get back.
We're not committed. I'm going on both.
You can't go on both. Because one is a weekend in Malibu and the other one is just a Saturday night at McDonald's.
And I like them both the same.
Yeah, they're both cool. You met them both at the same time. They're both cool.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm going to Malibu. I'm going to Malibu. If they're the same guy, this guy's it's going to be more fun. I'm going to have more fun.
What'd I say?
But it's about the event. It's more fun. I mean, Malibu McDonald's.
Now it's about the event. You can have just as fun as the
event.
You can have
about the person you're with.
A lot of McDonald's have a little playground on the inside.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
You can ask anybody that question. Same thing for you guys. If a woman was like, "I'm going to fly you to Malibu," and another girl was like, "I'll take you to McDonald's," nobody's going to McDonald's. I don't care who you are.
No, that's not how men think. Men don't think like that.
We don't.
Men think in the instance of what's a sure thing.
Here's the equivalent.
If the girl's taking you Malibu,
go ahead. Yeah.
And if the girl that's taking you to Malibu is just friendly, and the girl that's taking you to McDonald's, and you know that's a sure thing, you're probably going to McDonald's.
And here's what I'm going to say. Here's the equivalent, right? Because to your same point, what is the sure thing? Sex, right? Sex. Right?
Oh,
this is what I'm going to say. Listen.
No, I mean, it's the total package. The total package.
Okay, this is the equivalent then. Okay, let's do this then. If you're going to say that a woman's going to take the trip to Miami over the McDonald's, here's the male equivalent. If I give you a 10 out of 10, but she says, I really like you. I'm a 10 out of 10, but I can't afford anything. I want you to pay for everything from here on out. But she is a 10. This is the finest woman you've ever seen. Finest woman you've ever seen. She says, KP, I can't pay for anything. You will pay for here on out. But then you have a 5. You have a 5. And she says, KP, I don't need that from you. Which one are you picking?
No,
you're not. You're not.
Talk up to 5.
The 5.
The 5's not putting out for 12 dates, and the 10's putting out tonight. What are you doing? Thank you. Case closed. Case closed. So you're hating on my girl who will pick Malibu because that's what she wants. But we know what you want, KP. All right, thank you. Session is over.
I never answered the question.
You don't even gotta say. I already know, because that's the male equivalent, right? Because she said the better time is going to Malibu because that fits what she wants. And that's a better time. Is the 10 the better time if she's putting out on the first date? Or is the 5 that checks all the boxes that won't have you pay the better one?
Okay, so I
don't think I hear it.
No, I have a real
men think who is better. Men think who is better
100%.
and who is going to sleep with them.
No, so
100%.
I think it really depends on, are you in equal status with both women?
Yeah, same scenario, right?
Yeah,
same scenario.
All
things considered, they all match, but you have a 10 that says, I can't pay for anything for the rest of my life with you. Or you have a 5 that says, I'm more than happy for me to get my own door after you come out of the car and you don't got to walk all the way around.
So I mean, I'll be honest, if you just put the whole, the rest of my life deal, then I'm taking the 5 every time.
But the 10's putting out tonight.
I'm taking the 5.
That's cap.
I'm not.
Stop the madness. Stop the madness, people.
I don't believe it.
Jordan, if anyone, you guys know,
you don't believe it?
I'm not tricking on no female. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Anybody who knows me knows.
Tricking. I don't think providing and being a gentleman.
If I'm paying for something for the rest of her life, that is tricking.
You just said you would do it for your wife, so you will eventually be a trick.
This is not my wife. That wasn't a part of the scenario. She wasn't my wife.
For you will eventually do it. You just don't want to do it in this instant. But you would absolutely take the 10 out of 10.
If it's my wife, that's not tricking. Girlfriend.
How do you know if she's your wife? You don't know if she's going to be your wife.
If I gotta pay for more than fucking 6 or 7 days, I'm gonna be looking at you sideways if you're not even offering at least once. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Are you kidding me? If you don't, if you're not offering, you're not offering. Even if he says no, you're not offering. Let's
If
stop.
I offer, would you say no? Would you say no? I've still got it.
It depends.
On what?
9 times out of 10, I probably would say no. But
if
that
it's
one,
payday? It's the week you got paid.
It don't matter.
Cass said, 5, sex is overrated. I need the feeling, the vibe. I am naturally a gentleman. And
he's a sweetheart.
Is this Jordan's friend?
Like being a gentleman is that. I mean, that's.
I got good people in my corner, you know.
Man, he gave me points already.
Being a gentleman is all fine and dandy, and we're not saying that. I don't
think
that
anybody's saying that
men should not be gentlemen. I don't think that anybody's saying that. But I think that when we look at the evolution of like the interaction between men and women over the last, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years now in 2025, I think men's outlook toward dating has changed. I think women's outlook toward dating has changed. And there's a disconnect. And I'm not saying that necessarily that either side is wrong. I don't think that either side is wrong. You are 100% entitled to expecting and wanting and going after whatever you set your standard to, right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong for having that standard. But the caveat to that is if you narrow your options because of your standards, then it's not that, there's no good men or nobody's good for me. It's because you've narrowed your standards to a point where you don't have any options. I was watching an Instagram video the other day. One of my guys from college sent me, and it said, okay, you take 100% of men. And let's say you take out the men who don't make $100,000 a year. Now you're down to 50%.
Oh, I seen this video. Yeah.
You're down to 50% of men. And you take out all the men who aren't over a specific, aren't over 6 feet. Now you're down to 25% of men. And you take out all the men who, it really whittled it down to like, you have like 5 to 10% of men who most women are all going after.
It's lower than that.
And that really is what it comes down to is, are your standards limiting your search to the point where I'm realistically not ever going to find a person that checks all my boxes, and I'm going to have to, I don't want to say settle. I'm going to have to make some compromises on things I want.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's very interesting that y'all opened it up by saying in 2025, we're giving everybody got a shot. As long as you're nice and everybody can get a shot. We're not limiting nobody. But that's not what y'all want. That's really not. At the end of the day, it's not. Y'all don't want a dude that you're taller than. Y'all don't want a dude that y'all are in better shape than. Y'all don't want a dude that y'all make more money than. Y'all don't want a dude that's not going to take y'all to the places that y'all want to go.
Facts.
I mean, I'm the worst person to have because I've done everything. Every single thing you just listed, I've done before.
And where did it get you?
I don't know who this is, but I like this guy.
I know.
It's a girl. It's a girl. It's a girl, and you don't know Jordan. She's compromised. I'll tell you that.
But that's facts, though. I'm not going to debate that. That's facts, though, because I have compromised. I have an ex that was 5'8". I have an ex that was 7'1". I have
There's nothing wrong with that.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm not a good example of this because I don't base it off of those qualities. I base it off of values. I base it off of, are we aligned on certain other things? So to me, to your point, I've already been giving these people a chance, but it also has not worked out. So it's really about to me, it's that what quality of man is out there. If I've given the 5'8" guy a chance, I've given the 7'1", I've given the doctor, I've given the nerd, it's like, at what point do you say maybe there are very few good men out there? I'm not saying they're all bad, but at what point do you say there is a very small group of good men and arguably good women? I go both ways, because I have a lot of good guy friends and I hear it all the time and I'm like, wow, you all put up with a lot. I think there is a very small group left of good men and good women, and those people trying to find each other.
So listen,
am I the champ?
No, I'm listening. Kaz is saying, I appreciate you. Can't be speaking. You see the fire emoji. Stop playing. You see it. Liberty said she's 100% right. The problem isn't that she is too picky, but rather that way too many guys aren't manly and proper anymore. Frankly, richer guys are generally better than the guys who can't afford to pay for every meal.
I don't know about all that.
Is this an industry plan? I don't know.
I don't know who that is. I gotta find out who that is.
It's another Kadriana plan. This is another Kadriana plan.
I swear, guys, this isn't a my person.
This is another Kadriana plan.
I don't know who that is.
Richer guys are the ones you never see in relationships. She said rich guys have shown they can achieve and provide. And you never see them in relationships.
Oh no, that's not true. Look at some of the most successful men. They're
gonna cheat on you. They'll cheat on you just like the regular dude.
Like who? Jeff Bezos, divorced.
But he's engaged now. They're about to get married. I don't know if they might have gotten married already.
Look who's he engaged to. Look who he's engaged to as opposed to who he divorced.
But
who? I don't know that
She's
story.
Not going 50-50. I promise you. She's a woman like that's not going 50-50.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, she hit the jackpot when she got Jeff. She hit the jackpot when she got Jeff.
You see that smile on her face? If she met Jeff Bezos, she's Cabrini right here. If she met Jeff Bezos or Scott from local tile flooring company, she's going with Jeff Bezos.
Because Jeff gonna be like, you want to go to Malibu for the weekend? No strings
I guarantee you, she's giving it up for Bezos. She's giving it up for Bezos, guaranteed.
Geneva said, "Nah, most rich guys are assholes."
Yep.
I don't agree, and I know plenty of my friends. They're nice guys. They're not assholes. I've had a lot of not rich guys be assholes. The ones 100%. That were the least successful probably did me the dirtiest. They were 100%. The worst.
But you got dirty done. Is there a level of degree of dirtiness? I mean, you get
a lot. I mean, I'm trying to think. Some of the ones like I said, I'm in this dating phase, or I'm dating, and I find the ones that are the most,
You giving shots?
Yeah, and the ones that are more successful tend to treat me better conversations. The ones that are not are the ones I don't know.
But do you feel like the ones who are, like you said, the ones who are more well off give you better conversations, they treat you better, but you haven't hitched your wagon to them? Is that to also say that there's something missing?
Yeah, because I'm looking for something specific. And for me, like money is not the thing, because I make my own money. So that's not even an issue, but it's other stuff. So It's not that there's anything wrong with them. They're just not for me. It's not what I'm looking for.
Okay. Would you, let's say you were dating somebody and he treated you really well, and y'all went out to, some nice places. Y'all had a great time. The place doesn't matter, right? Like you said, it doesn't matter. Y'all had a great time. Y'all had a great connection. You were physically attracted to him. He was attracted to you. Maybe y'all have even been intimate once or twice. And then you find out, let's say after 6 months, that this man was living out of his car. Would that be a disqualifier?
No, because we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that together.
He gonna move in with you?
Yeah, if I've been with him 6 months and he's a good guy, everything's great, we're in love, and he's living in his car, yeah, I'm not gonna have him live. Like, kind of girlfriend would I be letting him stay in his car?
I ain't say y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend. I say y'all been seeing each other for 6 months.
Oh, we're just dating?
Y'all been seeing each other for 6 months.
For
Casually dating for 6 months?
What? Who does that?
No woman above the age of 30 should be doing that. Come on now.
We're just casually dating?
Geneva said, yes, better initially. Stay with them for 7 years. All that better ain't necessarily better. So I think Geneva's saying all that glitters ain't gold at the end of the day. Basically, everything that's shiny and new ain't always going to be that way.
I never seen so many betters in one sentence. And
no, we can't fix that.
Liberty said,
Ariana.
No.
Hey, hold on. She gonna check me when I say her name wrong, but she gonna say nothing to the fan, huh?
Okay, Liberty, I forgive you.
That's our homie.
No, you can't fix that. Don't make the number one mistake of assuming you can change a guy.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is
facts. Yeah, I think you go down a slippery slope in that instance.
JoJo, would that be a disqualifier for you?
No, I don't think so. I think one of the best relationships I ever was in, like, I think to the fact that I made more money than them. I feel like we were not, financially in the same situation, but that didn't play a part to me because I was being treated better than I'd ever been treated. Mm-hmm. And I think that in my personal opinion, if that woman is the one and y'all are compatible and it's, it's checking all the boxes, I think a man faces a really hard choice of, I got to get it together for her or I got to get out because I'm potentially hurting this relationship in that person.
Do you feel like a poor man can treat you better than a rich man?
I don't think that matters. I really, really don't. I truly feel like it doesn't matter. I truly don't.
It doesn't matter. I said I've had both. You've had
and I've had both.
Kadriana, I hear you. Like, we hear you.
I've had both. I've had men that make crazy money treat me like a queen, and I've had men that make no money treat me like the dirt on their shoe. So it's the type of person. It's not the money you're bringing in. A humble person that makes a lot of money doesn't mean they're, you know what I mean? I don't think that just because you make a lot of money, you're immediately an asshole. I think it's the quality of a person you are. Somebody that makes a lot of money that is treating somebody poorly is just a piece of shit. Pardon me. I don't know. Can we curse on here?
Sure can. Geneva said no because a poor man can end up cheating on you too.
Exactly.
The Dateline episode earlier today with Davis. Yeah, I mean, anybody can cheat on anybody. But if you had to pick, and this is gonna be the last question before we get out of here. If you had to pick poor man, rich man, who are you picking?
And I'm in love with them both?
Yes.
I would pick the rich man and cheat with the poor man.
I was not expecting that.
I'm just kidding. I seen your cheaters episode. I've never cheated. Thank you. I'm a good girl.
Kadriana,
what about you?
And they're both. It doesn't
matter. You in love with both.
What are their value? Are they good people? Are they good humans?
Yeah, they're both good humans. Both the same. You love them both the same. You met them at the same time. Nobody's got a leg up except one is rich.
I'm going with the guy that's rich because he's already shown that he's a go-getter. So I'm betting on that race.
But y'all would do the same thing. Y'all would do the same thing. Quit acting like y'all are on your high horse.
No, because men don't go into I'm not gonna say go into a relationship expecting anything. Men aren't wired that way. We don't expect for a woman to have XYZ.
Yes, you do. You expect them to put out. We just had this conversation. The 5 is never having sex with you ever again. The 5 is never going to have sex with you, KP. The 5 is never going to have sex with you.
Yeah, but
the 10 will. But she will want you to pay for everything for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I think that's if you've ever been with a 10, and I'm sure KP can tell you, if you've ever been with a 10, it's not all it's cracked up to be. So
you would pick the 5 and never have sex again.
Nah, she gonna want to have sex with me for sure.
Oh God.
You guys answer the same question.
He's a 6'5" Leo. He's a 6'5" Leo.
But that's the equivalent. So that's what I was gonna say is that it's like you can't knock a woman for having 2 equal men, and the only difference is one makes more. She's gonna pick the one that makes more because that's just sensical. Everybody would do that. Everybody would do that. That's not a man or a woman thing.
So then you can't say that it doesn't matter then.
And you can't either, though.
We did.
I can because, like I said, I feel like it's not apples to apples because
it's not.
It's because, like I said, men don't go into a relationship expecting like I need a woman that has a degree. She got to have her own crib. She got to have her own car.
That's why you all be dating bums.
And she got to put out like men don't think like that.
But it's different because we have kids. Like I'm thinking, if a guy that has money, if we have a family, he's going to be able to provide for the family. I don't have to worry about that. The poor guy, I don't know.
Yeah, that's scary. That's a scary
family. Like
that's a very scary.
The scary part is that you should be ready to pick up the rest of the slack.
But she just said she would.
Kids. So because I'm in my mind, if I'm having a family with this guy, and this has happened to me, I was put on bed rest with my second baby. If I was married to a 50-50 man, how would we have made it?
Right.
We wouldn't have. So I think about stuff like that.
So hold on. So just to answer that question, like how could you have been with a 50-50 man? That 50-50 man would have known that while you were bed rest, he's probably going to have to take up 100% of this 100%.
Maybe.
Right.
Just like if he was bed rest, you would have to pick up 100%. If you're not willing to do that, then we can't.
But do you see the risk in a woman? A guy who has never shown her that he would step up. I'm taking a risk to hope that this guy's going to cover the slack if I get put on bed rest. Whereas the rich guy, I already know I can have 2-3 babies with him and he can afford it. But then what happens
if that guy loses his money?
Well, she just told you she has her own.
He's already done it once.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna come. And what if it doesn't come as fast as the last time?
But he knows how to do it again. A guy who's never done it is gonna have a harder time than somebody who's done it and lost it.
Man, no.
Like I was saying, I feel like men and women go into relationships with a different set of pressures and expectations, and I think that men don't go into relationships needing women to really have anything. You don't have to have anything.
So embarrassing.
I could have an apartment with 3 roommates and date you, and you don't need to bring anything to the table.
Yep.
I don't agree with that. I think y'all should have higher standards too.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm talking about as of right now, men don't need anything from women necessarily. Now, do we appreciate things? Absolutely. Do we appreciate if you make good money? Do we appreciate if I don't have a car, can you give me a ride to work? Can we appreciate if you can cook? I don't know how to cook. Like, can we appreciate certain things? Absolutely. But we don't need those things. And I think to answer the question, if you're looking at a 10 and a 5, I think you're gonna pick the 5. Which would, in y'all situation, would be the poor person.
No, you said they were exactly alike. You said
right.
They were exactly alike.
So I think most.
So I got 2 10s. I got 2 10s.
So I think most dudes would pick the poor person.
That's
in y'all instance, but the 5 in our example would be the 5.
You would really pick. Crazy. So if I don't know Jada, I don't know if you like Jada. If Jada came to you and a girl that
or Jada Kiss,
yeah, Jada Pinkett. If she came to you or Vanessa Williams, rich, successful, beautiful women, you're telling me that you'll take a woman that works at McDonald's over Vanessa Williams, and they're both 10s, so same look, same everything, except for one girl's at McDonald's and one is Vanessa Williams. Who are you taking?
And the girl that works at McDonald's is a 10 too?
Yeah, she's a 10.
She makes $14 an hour, and you're okay with that.
Yeah, because men don't go into the situation expecting for women to bring anything necessarily to the table.
You gotta take her home and tell your mom that your 34-year-old girlfriend works at McDonald's, and you'd be okay with that.
And she a 10.
She's working towards something. She got
No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. Because she's poor.
You just said she's a 10.
No, I said that she's poor.
And she's Snagglepuss. She working there. She a 10.
But aren't you gonna think like, why aren't you? So you're telling me that your standards, you will tell a woman that's up here to kick rocks, so you can go to a woman who is not on the same level?
No.
Looks-wise, they're both 10 out of 10s, but one has established herself more in life and done the work.
A career,
and the other hasn't. You're
gonna go where she's done the work.
No, what the example was that the 10 was gonna say, I can't give you anything, but I look good. And the other girl was saying, I don't look good, but I can give you everything.
Yeah, but we're asking you our question. The same question you guys ask us, you answer it. So you would take the girl with the less amount of money. You're going to take her over Vanessa Williams. Your standards, as you're going to lower.
No, but to Kadriana's point, she's asking you a better question. Mine didn't really, you said it didn't equivalent to the same thing. So we are now asking you the same question.
So you revised. Okay.
So this is a revision because this is a much better example. So she's saying that you have 2 10s. 1 10 makes $100K a year. She's well established. She's the VP of her company. Or you have a young lady who's also a 10 who makes $14 an hour at McDonald's and doesn't know what she wants with her life. She's just kind of figuring it out. You're going to take the McDonald's girl. KP, you going to take the McDonald's girl?
I feel like that's a different question than.
No, it's the same.
It's the same question.
You made it a loaded question.
No, because you told us it was the same thing. You said 2 10s, one with money, one without.
I didn't say 2 10s. I said
you said they everything the same. Man,
you said they were tall, they were vibing with us. You said they were the exact same guy.
Exact same.
And made more money.
Your words were exact same guy. The only difference is one makes more money. So same question applies. Are you taking the woman that makes $100K, or are you taking the woman that works at McDonald's and makes $14 an hour?
And there's nothing wrong with McDonald's. We're not saying there's anything wrong with that.
KP, I want you to tell me to my face you're picking the McDonald's girl, because I know you're not.
I have follow-up questions, but they're not related to the money. Like
everything else matches. Everything else matches. Personalities are the same. You love both of them. Mm-hmm. Sex is good with both of them. One makes $100K and is the VP of her company, and the other is a cashier at McDonald's. What's your answer? Go. Y'all, thank you so much. It's been a blessed night.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm picking McDonald's. I'm picking McDonald's.
Picking McDonald's.
I'm picking McDonald's.
You're not
picking
picking
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Okay.
And I said it before. We're picking McDonald's.
Why are you
Does
picking McDonald's?
does the other woman intimidate you? Because why would you want if you can have the best? Why not have the best? Who wants subpar, mediocre in life? Why not have the best?
Who says
not subpar? I'm just
because
saying,
we just told you she's the VP of sales or she's a cashier at McDonald's. Everything else is the same. So you're saying you prefer?
Maybe she's not stuck in McDonald's.
But no, why you pick McDonald's?
We know what I'm saying. Maybe McDonald's is not her end game. You know what I mean?
Maybe the man making less money isn't the same. It doesn't matter though, right?
You guys chose the rich guy.
Right now,
I chose the rich guy. I chose the
because right now, because you have to pick right now. You have to pick right now. We're not saying 10 years from now. We're saying right now.
I'm picking McDonald's.
I'm picking McDonald's.
Because why?
Because
you don't want your woman to make more than you. Because you don't want your woman to make more than you.
That's not it. Because your $100,000 doesn't factor into me. You making $100,000 doesn't.
Well, I would agree with that
doesn't add to my pockets.
I would agree with you because you said you're okay with paying for every date. You can't say that, KP, because you said you're not paying for everything when it's your wife. You're going to need all the help you can get. You better take that $100K.
I did not say I wasn't paying. I did not say I wasn't paying for everything with my wife. I did not say that.
You said leading up to it, you would not pay for everything.
Yes, I did say that.
Okay, let me tell you, your chick from McDonald's isn't paying for it.
That doesn't mean that
you're leftover chicken nuggets at the end of the night. You're getting leftover chicken nuggets.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? You better pull them checks together. As simple as that. Simple as that.
Like I said, you making $100,000 doesn't mean that I make 100 more grand than what I'm making. That's not how men don't think that way.
And that woman that's
making that either.
And that woman that's making $100,000, that doesn't mean that she's paying for anything anyway.
No, but that just shows to me that she's worked hard. She's a hard worker. Where I just don't. The other woman, same age. I know different paths in life, but for me, I'm always trying to grow. So I'm gonna go the way that I'm going to advance, and me and my partner are gonna grow.
And it's gonna push you.
That I'm going to learn. I don't think that the other person is going to be able to, maybe in like an emotional, I don't know, but what can I learn from this person who's still figuring out their own life and not really seeming like they're getting it together? I want to grow.
But Kaz, what if the richer guy is our best version? That it's like you're comparing oranges to apples, because if I'm setting myself up for success, I'm gonna take the partner that makes more because they're gonna push me. The guy working at McDonald's might be comfortable with where I'm at, and that's not challenging me to be the best.
But I think that's the difference between men and women is that
you don't want to be your best.
Women want to be.
I don't need a woman to push me to be my best. That's ridiculous.
Right. Men don't need a woman to push us to do more. If you meet a guy who has no drive,
y'all do. Trust me.
Oh, I don't.
Trust me.
If you meet a guy who has no drive, he just has no drive. And you pushing him is going to seem like you're being his mom. That's how it's going to come across to him. Women want to be attached to a man who's like, hey, babe, we should do this. Let's think about this. Let's invest in this. And in her mind, she's thinking, okay, we're a tag team. We're doing all these things together. Let's move forward because he's helping elevate me. Men don't look to women for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, facts.
We appreciate it 100%.
But why is that a flaw? Why is that a flaw for a woman?
I'm not saying it's a flaw. I'm saying that's why.
But you guys did. But you said picking the rich guy made that like that was a problem.
No, I'm not saying that that's a flaw. What I'm saying is that's the difference between why we would choose the woman who worked at McDonald's, because we don't need her for her $14 an hour. We don't need her to uplift us and push us forward and help us be more driven and do the things we want to do in our life. We don't need her for that. So if all things are considered even,
right, the 100K girl wouldn't need you guys either, so that makes sense.
So I'm hearing you don't need a woman for your money.
Exactly.
You don't need a woman for their bodies, but well, no, you do, because you don't want somebody to
I know,
push you.
so I'm so confused.
The only thing it seems like you guys want women for is for sex.
Right. Because I'm so confused.
I don't know why even be with the woman if you're
no, because men and I've always believed in this, is that human beings are not meant to be independent. We are meant to be together, right?
Yes. I agree. 100%.
Whether you're religious or not, people are meant to be together, right? And we need women for companionship. We, like I said before, we appreciate everything that women bring to the table. But because of societal pressures and the way that men are raised, we already come into situations with ambition, with drive. And if you meet a man who doesn't have that, then he just don't have it.
But then why am I wrong for picking the man that has it with 100K?
You're not wrong for that. We just laughed at it because we knew that what your answer was going to be.
I mean, it's
not wrong. We just knew what the answer was before you said it.
I could sit here and say everything right, and I'm still wrong. That's crazy.
No, you're not wrong. We're just saying we knew what the answer was.
So you would want this for your sons? You would want your sons to pick women who, because your sons might need that motivation. You would want them to pick the woman that clearly can't uplift them, can't motivate them over the woman that has already demonstrated that she could. Because I wouldn't. I would tell my son, like,
that's a great point.
You should be uplifting each other, whether it's you're, elevating professionally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. But if there's no growth and your partner can't do that, what's the point?
That's a great point.
Well, I mean, as the father of a 10-year-old boy, I'm raising him to have his own drive and ambition, and to not be like,
but what if he needs that extra oomph? The women that are the ones that bring men down, they're the ones that don't have that mentality. So he might be able to handle it all and do it all himself, but there may be times where he does need that support. He does need a little extra from his woman. You should want him to have a woman who can provide that, not one that's already demonstrated, because the one that's demonstrated that she doesn't have it for herself, I guarantee you she'll bring him down. And those are the guys that struggle because they get with the wrong woman that has no ambition. They don't want to uplift them because they're fives and they're easy. Because to me, it sounds like we go for the easy choice because that girl at McDonald's is easy. The other one's probably going to have higher standards. She's probably going to expect more of you than the other lady. That's just what I'm hearing.
that other lady is just as probably just as sleazy as the five.
Probably not.
Here's a little something that men know about women.
Women with money that are sleazy
is that women who are 10s are probably, I'm not going to say it's sleazy. Women who are 10s are not as hard to crack as y'all think they are. And the reason for that is because they don't get hollered at as much as the girls who work at McDonald's. Because they're so attractive. So when they meet a guy, when a 10 meets a guy, she's like, oh my God, this guy talked to me. I like him. I'm in love with him. After 2 weeks, the girl at McDonald's might make you wait a month because she's used to dudes hollering at her all day, every day. Girls who are 10 don't get as much genuine attention as y'all might think. Y'all might have overestimated how much attention they get. But from a man's perspective, they're not. If you ask 100 dudes, have you ever been with a 10 to them? 90 of the 100 would probably say yes. 90 of the 100 would probably say yes. A 10 in their eyes, right? And that's because they're not as difficult to get as other women think they are. They're like, oh, that woman makes 100 grand a year. Her standards must be super high. And it's not. It's not like that. It's really not like that.
No.
The money that's attached to them doesn't mean anything, because the woman who's making $14 an hour, like I said, every dude that come through the drive-through asking for his 6-piece, it's like, damn, you fine? What's your phone? What's your Instagram? Can I holler at you? Blah blah blah. She's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. Blah. She's used to it. The 10's not used to it.
She is. I
Nah.
think you're wrong.
She's dealing with different type of men.
Not used to it.
She's dealing with those types of men that we said we would pick. That woman is dealing with, you'd be surprised. I guarantee the McDonald's girl who's getting hollered at all the time is going to have a phone full of a roster, and the other one's not. You'll probably get more loyalty from that 10 than you would from the girl that is obviously too occupied to get her shit together.
I got 3-0 right now.
No, don't read his stuff. We're over it. Get it out of here.
I know.
3 rounds in the bank.
10 is more than just looks. The 10 she's got everything. She's bringing value to the relationship. It's more than that. This one might be, I wouldn't even call her a 10, depending on how ambitious, how.
Because she work at McDonald's.
It depends. She could be a manager. That's different. Like, she's probably up there too. But if she's just there because she's still floating around in life, not sure, I don't know why anybody, I wouldn't want that.
I know for a fact that both of you have a guy friend that you know that's dating a woman that is not driving that man. I know for a fact you can think of one person in your circle of people, your brother, your father, your best friend, who's dating a chick that is not driving that man to be better. I just had this conversation yesterday. I'm about to put somebody's business out here. Hopefully they're not listening. His brother is in a relationship with a woman who constantly complains about how she doesn't love her body. And he tries to get her to go to the gym. She doesn't want to go to the gym. Guess what he stopped doing? Going to the gym. Now he hates his body. Now they both be hating their bodies.
That's because he's lazy.
But there's nobody there to motivate him.
He don't have to be motivated. He's lazy.
Yeah, you might.
But it's even the most successful man.
Stop going to hang out with her. He's lazy.
I believe in the crab in the pot theory. You will have some people, you might think you got your shit together because it's happened to me. And I'll have friends, and those friends will always just have things going on. They're not motivated. And even the most squared away person, it takes a toll, and you slowly start to go down there with them. I promise you. Anybody, none of us can say that that's never happened to us.
Facts.
We've all had that one relationship where it did not bring the best out of us, and it did actually make us worse.
I will agree with I agree with both of those points. That I have friends that are with women who don't push them to be better. Yes, but I also know that guy friend doesn't have that drive. So it's not necessarily that the woman's not pushing him to be great. He's not even pushing himself to be great.
But if he had
whether or not the woman is doing it, he's not pushing himself. And I know that because I know my friends. Like, I've known my friends for a long time. Like, I've known KP a long time.
You're lazy, KP. Damn, you're lazy, KP.
I know he's a driven individual, right? Like, a couple of days ago, I posted on Facebook that I'm trying to sell some vending machines, right? This is an entrepreneurial venture, right? I'm trying to sell some vending machines. He hit me up. He was like, hey, let's talk about this. Because he's pushing himself to be better. I know that about him. Mm-hmm. But I also know I have friends who just want to go to work and come home. I get it.
Do you feel like let's use KP as an example, since you've known him for so long. You've known KP for so long, and KP was dating 2 chicks. He was dating a 10 who made 100K, and he was dating a girl who made $14 an hour at McDonald's. He decided to go for the girl who makes $14 an hour, and then you see KP struggling. Wouldn't there be a small part of you that was like, damn, I kind of wish KP would have gotten with a 100K chick, because that might have helped him just a little smidge get that ass out the couch?
No,
just a smidge.
Because I would never tell him, like, hey, bro, you need to ask your girl for some money. I wouldn't tell him that.
I didn't say that.
No,
I didn't say ask for money.
Right. So, and that's why I said her making $100,000 don't increase my pockets, don't increase his pockets. He still got to handle his business. So but it doesn't matter.
That would make him want to get to her level? You don't think that would motivate him to see, like, oh, my girl's done this, I want to do that too?
So KP says, So KP says, hey, Dave, I'm thinking about starting this venture, but old McDonald over here doesn't really want me to do that because she's comfortable with where I'm at, because she's at McDonald's and she's comfortable with where I'm at. There wouldn't be the smallest part of you that thinks in that moment that, damn, there's not somebody in his life to set him up for the want to be successful. You just think that's KP's problem and he doesn't care.
No, the fact that KP even asked me that tells me he doesn't have that drive.
Exactly. I would think the same exact thing. I personally think, man or woman, that if you don't have that personal drive to be better for yourself, I don't think that your partner or your spouse should be able to, quote unquote, push you to be a better you. You should want to be pushed to be a better you by you. Now, if my spouse or my girlfriend is going to enhance, like if I see what she's doing and that makes me work even more or whatever, then cool. But I don't need someone to come into my life to push me to do better. If I don't have that within me already, then I don't have it in me. And if one of my guy friends, if I saw that if he wasn't motivated enough to do what he needed to do, then, when he came to me like, hey, so-and-so won't do this or whatever, I would tell that dude, you need to look within, because if you don't have it, you don't have it. Because I think, man or woman, you don't need, my mom, dad always taught me to stand on my own. You shouldn't need a woman. You shouldn't need a woman to do anything for you. And I live by that every single day. I don't need a woman to make me happy. I don't need a woman to drive me. I don't need a woman to push me. If I don't have that within myself, like if I lost my job, I don't need my woman to say, go ahead and apply. I need you to apply for jobs. Come on, you can do it. She can
help. But the 100K girl can help.
KP's going to be applying for jobs immediately.
But I just don't think you guys are being realistic. There's been people who are way more successful than any of us sitting here who have gotten depressed. So that doesn't mean that they weren't motivated, but their partner, that's where that partner steps in.
That uplifts you. Yes.
So like, it's not that you need them. Nobody should need that, but we're human and it may happen. And if it happens, I would want a partner that could do that. I would not want somebody that if it happens, they're going to just keep on, because you're human.
No, babe, you're good, babe. Babe, you're good. Babe, you don't need that job.
I don't want somebody who thinks I think the problem with some men is you guys think, I got this. I don't need anybody. I can do it myself.
We're not saying that.
But you're human.
Not saying that. No,
and it's going to happen. It's happened to everybody. There's going to be moments where you need that motivation.
But when you say it with that connotation,
it's different.
With that tone, when you say it with that tone, that leans it more towards like emotional, a lack of emotional intelligence, and leaning a little bit more towards toxic. Men who are emotionally intelligent have a great idea of who they are as a person. will go into a relationship knowing what they bring to the table, right? Now, obviously things happen to everybody. But like KP said, if he loses his job, if I lose my job and I'm just sitting on the couch and my girlfriend has to come to me and say, "Hey babe, let's apply for some jobs today. You got this. I'm with you. Let's redo your resume." Then that means that I don't have the drive. Because I've just been sitting on the couch.
Depression is one hell of a thing. I'm just saying you never know when you need that person. And there's nothing wrong with having somebody who's even capable of being that person.
So I'll tell you this. I agree with you that, I mean, you know, depression is a thing and whatnot. And I agree with you that there's people with millions of dollars that that go through depression and whatnot. But there's also people with no millions of dollars that have gotten through a lot of tough times that didn't have depression. So you can't say that.
But wouldn't you want support if you could have it? Like, to
that's
me,
what I was going to say. But
no,
KP,
everyone. Okay, wait, hold on. I think that's different. So support is different. Of course, you want support from a person that is in your life. That's 1,000%. You want someone to boost you up, to give you positive vibes, to say you.
Why? No. Stop right there. That's exactly what we've been saying, and you said no. I don't need somebody who's gonna.
No.
No, that's different.
That's different. No, you said that you guys said a woman can push a man to be more successful. You giving me positive affirmations is not pushing me to be even more successful.
KP, can I ask you something?
That's not.
So my parents, my parents have been married for like, I think 35 years now, 36 years. And one of the things that my mom and dad have both said is there will be times where one of you is the all-star and one of you is on the injured reserve. Yeah. So okay, hang on. But so there's been multiple times where my mom was up and my dad didn't have a job. Then my dad got a job and then my mom didn't have a job. If you are picking the woman who works at McDonald's, are you setting yourself up for success for that situation? When you don't have a job and y'all are together and now she has to pay the bills, are you setting yourself up for success choosing the woman that makes the lesser amount of money? Or are we being smart picking the man with the most money because we know that we have our own money? I make $100K. He makes $100K. I'm still going to pick the man making $100K over $40K because I know for a fact I will lose my job at some point in the next 35 years. It is bound to happen. So wouldn't I be making an educated decision on that behalf to pick the man who is making more money? So when that time comes and he loses his job, I've got us. And when I lose my job, he's got us. That is a smart financial business decision, which if you ask any married person, marriage is a business. Marriage is a business agreement.
So that wasn't originally the question. We weren't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
But you basically have reduced it to date the person who makes the most money in case something happens to you in the future and you don't have it.
You just said they're both equals, right? The question said they check every box. They're exactly the same, except for the money. Yes, I'm picking the money for that reason, because if this is going to be my husband, I'm going to lose my job someday. It is a fact. So I'm going to
demonstrate their providers. That's just, they've already demonstrated they can work hard. They can do what they need to do to get to where they need to be in life. The other person is a risk. That's a wild card.
It is a risk.
Not demonstrated any of that. So you're willing to throw away somebody who's already showed you, hey, this is what I'm capable of. We can do this together. And they already have that mindset versus somebody who has never demonstrated that at all. I'm not risking.
That is a bad financial decision. You both will end up bankrupt. You both are going to jail for credit card fraud. You're not picking the woman making $14 an hour. If you're dating it with intention and you're dating seriously and you have two people that are exactly the same, you're going to pick the woman with more money. And if not, you both are going to end up homeless because KP, you're losing your job. In 30 years, you're going to lose your job and you're going to have $14 an hour provide for you.
So if we're talking about marriage, okay, I guess you got a little bit of a point. But if we're dating, which that was the original question, was if you had two tens and which one would you choose, the rich guy? Actually, it wasn't dating or marriage. It was just simply if you have a rich guy and a poor guy, which one would you go with? That was really the original question.
Right.
So let's just say
why would you just hang out?
But what a great way to show the difference between the way a man dates and the way a woman dates. Yeah. We pick the man with more money because we are taking that seriously.
I'm dating to have a family. I'm not dating just to hang out. If I want to hang out, I got plenty of guy friends.
But how many people does it take to date?
I'm looking for some.
How many people does it take to date? How many people does it? Two. So you're telling me that both of you have never met a guy who told you everything that you wanted to hear. Oh, I want to date this. I want to date that. I'm dating with intention. That guy said, you know what? I'm dating with intention too. I want a marriage. I want a kid.
Well, that's a risk I'm willing to take for $100,000.
Hold on. So you're telling me
for $100,000 versus $14 an hour.
You've never met a guy that told you all those things, and then however many months down the road, something happened.
Yeah, that's called dating. You take a risk.
I don't understand the question.
I'm willing to take a risk.
Right. So again, you guys said you guys are dating with intent to marriage. The question originally had nothing to do with marriage or whatever. But then when I said something about dating, you're like, well, I date to marriage.
Because I don't understand. Do you just date to date? Because if somebody wants to date me, my mind, I literally go through this. No joke. Could I see myself being with him? Could I see myself having a family with him? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not just thinking I'm bored and I'm going to go hang out with a random guy.
I mean,
I like my alone time.
Everybody write about this tonight in their diary because I'm about to say something I never say. But I agree with KP because the more I think about it, the more we did not establish what we were picking this person for. But again, isn't it so funny how both Kadriana and I picked with the mindset of marriage and y'all picked for a different mindset completely? You pick, of course you pick the girl now. Now I get it. Of course you pick the girl who works at McDonald's because neither of you were thinking about the future. We were thinking about the future.
I don't necessarily think that we weren't thinking about the future. I think that we were thinking about it in terms of I'm not looking at either woman for what she monetarily brings to the relationship.
But why not when I just told you you're about to lose your job in 30 years?
That's when you start adding on the sauce of the question.
Because when you asked me about the two guys, my mind was to date. And
to marry, yes.
I'm thinking of long term, not just...
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
So what were you guys basing it off of?
I was thinking dating.
But I think date to long term.
Right. So that's right. So listen, that's what I'm saying. So that was a part of my question. So I said, you both have said you met men who said they wanted those same things. They were dating to marry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And to come to find out down the road, they weren't trying to date to marry. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is I don't get your point because
I don't get
how safe he's saying how safe. He's saying how safe was the bet if you have met guys who lied to you?
Well, that's an easy one. Like, I'm still going to choose the guy that's already demonstrated that. If we're taking risk either way, I'm not going to lower my standard just because. That makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Expectations for my life. So if I don't see that in my future, why would I do it now?
So do you?
Okay, but wait. Okay, here's a great analogy. So if we're basing it off of KP and Dave, if I see a $5 bill on the ground, and I see a $20 bill on the ground, they're picking the 5.
They're taking the 5.
There's nothing attached to it.
Yeah,
there's no risk involved, but you guys would take the $5 bill because we're not talking about marriage. We're not talking about dating. We're just talking about if we had somebody making 40K and somebody making 100K, I got to pick. You're picking a $5 bill.
I was talking about dating. That's the one.
But I don't. So you don't date with the future in mind, is what we're trying. I'm trying to make sense.
We're saying that we do date with the future in mind, but we're not.
Y'all are losing your jobs in 30 years.
You bring to the table.
Okay, so you're talking. It doesn't matter. So you're willing to go traditional man. Because that's what you're getting.
You said everything on the table was exactly the same. You said everything on the table was exactly the same.
You're not listening. Okay,
you guys are just not making sense because to say that you would take her, you can't justify it. So we're going around circles because you guys refuse. You're not giving a good justification besides just saying the opposite of what we say. Because there's no good reason to go that way.
Let me clarify. When I originally posted the question, I said, you got two guys who everything is
exactly the same.
One makes X amount and one makes less.
Yes.
Right? You posed the question to us. You got two girls who are exactly the same. One makes X amount and one makes less, but all these other caveats.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We said it's the same.
You said marriage.
Kadriana was like, what about
because we're telling you how we think.
We're telling you how we're thinking.
We're thinking the same way. You guys are thinking dating to marriage, and we're thinking dating as well. But what I'm saying is, what happens when you guys have both came into contact with men at some point in your dating life when you guys were dating to marry? Those men were also dating to marry, and they told you that they were dating to marry.
Yes, and they lied.
They weren't dating to marry.
Well, what does that got to change our answer?
What does that have to do with anything?
What I'm saying is, if we are
your frame of mind is phallus.
So our frame of mind is we're thinking like adults who think.
I can't even finish my point.
It's like if y'all are sports betting, and every week y'all say, I'm gonna put $5 on every team who's been over 500. And every week y'all lose y'all parlay. And we say, why do you keep betting $5 on the teams that are over 500? You've lost all these parlays. Why would you keep betting on the teams that are over 500? And your response is, well, it's a safe bet because they're over 500. That doesn't make sense if in your past it shows you've lost every parlay.
But so the opposite of that, you're speaking to a sports girl, okay? The opposite of that is you would be saying that you guys are putting 500 on a team that is 0-14.
And if you hit, you rich.
But it's a bigger risk, and we as women are not willing to take the bigger risk.
No risk.
But you said you would date someone that made 40K.
But in this situation, we have options.
In this situation, you just said I had the option to do better for myself.
Okay, so listen. So we're not going in circles. Like I said, anybody can tell you anything you want to hear. That's my point.
Right. Okay, but you don't need more point than that. So let's look at facts. Adults can't argue facts. We're not going off of what people said. We're going off of their pay stubs. Yes. 40K, 100K. Who are you picking?
I already told you.
And they both can.
You're picking 40K.
40K.
Okay. Then that's it. You're picking. You guys would pick the $5 bill over the 20.
Again.
Yes.
Again. So listen. So if I know how you guys are thinking. Again, Jordan, you're thinking marriage. Oh, that's the risk. You're talking about $5 or 20. If there's two girls, I met a girl today who made 40K. I met a girl tomorrow who made 100K. Right? They're both. Would I choose to, if I wanted to date which one would I choose to date if they were equally the same? Right? If they were equally the same, I would probably choose the 40K. We're talking about talking, then dating. We're not talking about marriage. We're not even thinking that. There's two girls that I just met, $40K, and I found out, hey, we're talking, how much do you earn? Even though I would never ask a female that. But let's just say she told me, and she's like, I make $40K. And then the other girl said, yeah, I make $100K. I'm an executive, blah, 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 blah.
I ran out of things to throw
you're
up
taking
in the
the basic package instead of the premium, and they're the same price, but you're going to take the basic package and
what's the basic package?
$5.
It's the basic package. The one, if they're the same,
$5.
the same
What
package.
if that 100K? What if that 100K female thinks you're the basic package? What if she thinks you're the basic package?
No, but KP, just I'm saying, Kylie, $40K, Sarah, $100K. You don't know anything about them. Everything under that piece of paper matches. Everything under that. Who are you picking?
I already told you.
He already said he's going with, and I really wish I could have, like, we could have this conversation, because I feel like there's got to be like a deeper seated.
There's so much more deeper things seated.
I feel that he would intimidate.
This is crazy.
I feel like subconsciously he cannot have a guy, and I think both of you. It sounds like you don't want women who make more, because there's 100%. No other.
There's no reason why. There's no reason why you would ever take the $5 bill instead of the 20.
Let me tell you a story. So this was years ago. This was
no, you don't, KP.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would.
This was
then you would take the $20 bill.
I wouldn't.
This
all money ain't good money.
This was.
You don't know.
It's the same money. It's the same money to you. You don't know it's different money. It's a $5 bill on the ground.
It sounds like you're just going off of the money. Like you're just saying, because you make this much, I'm choosing the other one. But it's the opposite of us, because we were like, we're picking higher and you want the lower option. And I cannot wrap my head around why somebody would want mediocre.
Because you guys are women.
Right.
Because the
you guys sound like idiots. You sound like idiots.
The reasoning that you use that you would pick the higher doesn't make sense.
No, I'm throwing that all out. I'm throwing that all out.
Because both of you literally agreed. We have met men, we have dated men who have lied to us, and it wasn't the truth. So the reasoning that you use that I'm going to pick higher because it's a safer bet is not actually a safer bet, because they lied.
It's yours, and that's the thing. Your reasoning for why you choose her doesn't make sense.
If I'm looking at a sheet of paper and it says Bob, $40K, and it says Tom, $100K, and then it says asterisk, everything following these next three words are exactly the same. Everything is the same. Brown hair, light skin, 6'6", 6'6", Corvette. Everything's the same. You're not picking the $40K.
You're not. You're right.
You are insane. You are clinically insane.
Yeah,
write this number down. I have my therapist's phone number.
Me, now
write this down. Get help. Get help. That is insane.
As a woman, you're not picking the $40K. As a man,
that is insane.
I don't think most men would pick. I think most men would pick the other one.
110%.
A lot of men cap too.
I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to do it tonight on my Instagram. I'm going to post a poll tonight on my Instagram. Please. And go follow me right now. I'm going to say Kylie, $40K, Sarah, $100K. Who are you picking? 90% of dudes will say
I want to see this, because I do not believe that you guys are.
I don't put more sauce on the question. Watch.
I don't believe that.
I said you're gonna put more sauce on the question, like you've been doing.
I will. I'll say everything is the same. Blonde, 5'5", Great job. This, everything's the same, and we'll see who picks what.
But Kadriana, let me tell you like this: if you take 100 men, how many of them do you think have dated more 40 grand women, and how many of them do you think have dated more 100 grand women?
Well, that's because 66% of women make less than a man for the same job.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about how many men out of 100
most have dated 40 grand. I would say most have dated 40 grand, and that's why I say I feel like you guys are picking the safe not going to challenge you bet. That's such a, I can't even, I'm sorry guys, but I cannot believe that you wouldn't want better for yourself. You wouldn't want better for your girl. Like,
types
I
of men
want to
can
look
be
up to
challenged.
my man. I love when my man is successful, because to me, I love when I can admire my man. Why would I want somebody that
how does the person who makes 100K challenge you?
Because to me, that shows ambition, and that's sexy to me. A man that's ambitious, a man that is driven, that is sexy to me. Like, that's probably on my top, like, 5.
But you don't think that there are jobs out there that pay $100,000 that aren't ambitious?
There's other things to get to that. Like, you have to do some stuff. You're not just like walking out getting 100K. Like,
that's not true.
But do you think that there are jobs out there that somebody could just walk in, work a 9 to 5, and make 100K?
Yeah, but that also shows me that he has a certain standard, because he also could just as easily go work at McDonald's. So that shows me that he would rather have that life than that life. So if it's easy, why not go for better? I don't understand why you would want to just settle.
So he could actually not have any drive. He could just have a good job.
But at least he has common sense.
But he could not have any drive and just have a good job.
Yeah, have you met people with little drive that are making good money?
Yes.
No drive at all. There's something there. Who? Like, I don't.
We both said who?
There are lots of people who have good jobs who are ambitious.
It might not be your level of ambition, but to get to that, you got to do some work. You're not just walking in, getting 100 grand. It's just not. No. I don't know any 6-figure jobs where you're just.
I'm sitting here. I'm actually typing up this Instagram post, and as I'm typing it up, I actually think more men will pick the girl making less, because I do think they are going to pick the safer bet.
Yeah, they will.
Right, and women are actually being riskier, betting on the 100 grand guy.
Yeah,
who you've already said might have a
high risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. Isn't that what you don't
grow in comfort zones. Playing it safe isn't going to get you ahead.
Go ahead and make that poll though.
Play it safe isn't going to, I'm not okay with staying stagnant. I'm not okay with having a partner that's comfortable in stagnation. I'm just not. And to me, the other guy has already demonstrated that he wants more out of life. I don't know. I work really hard. I'm a hard worker. I love men who are hard workers. So to me, it's always going to be the person that is elevating themselves. And
you still work hard making 50K. You can have a hard working job.
Yeah.
But for me, that's not.
Don't make 100 grand.
I have in my life and like where the work that I've done, 50 grand. That was when I was younger. That's not my goal. That was never my goal. So I'm not going to settle for that. And I don't want somebody else that settles for that, because that's not.
Are you going to level him up though?
I'm too old to be saving men. Okay, I'm too old to be saving men.
Oh, so now we just talking
now we're not leveling up.
Now she's too old.
When you say that, it's like, why? That's exhausting. Have you ever had to date a guy that you said that
you're going to challenge, your success is going to challenge him, or should challenge him to do better, correct?
I would hope so. But I could get somebody like you who thinks they've got it figured out, and he's not moving anywhere in life because he's good. And I don't want that risk.
Obviously, I'm definitely not perfectly being stagnant.
But I'm saying, you already said you got it. I need somebody who's open-minded enough to know that he's not going to have it all the time.
No, I didn't say I had it. I didn't say I have it.
You need a woman for that.
I said no. I didn't say I didn't need. I said I didn't need a woman to push me to be better. That's what I said.
But I need a guy who has that mindset, but who also has enough self-awareness that knows there's going to be times that he's going to need me. There's going to be times that he's going to need that motivation.
That's where you, and I know we're going to be getting off soon, but that's where you lose me. I never said that I didn't need my
but we
woman.
were talking about the other girl being able to give that to you and the one girl not, and you said you didn't care because
No,
you didn't
that's
need
not what
that.
we said. We
said
said
I
both
can
of them
motivate
were the
myself.
same. We said both of them were the same. Both of them are.
But if one's
As
making
women
more,
like to say, I'm speaking life
clearly
into my
conditioned.
man. I'm promoting him. I'm pushing him up.
None of that matters. Are you taking a $5 bill or are you taking a $20 bill?
They're taking 5.
That is crazy.
They're taking 5.
Did you put the poll up?
Yeah.
Who dropped the 5 and who dropped the 20?
We need to do one for the women. Well, we already know the women's gonna pick because most women are not.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should do one for the women too, though.
100% of women,
and most of those women who are
women gonna pick $100 grand. 100%.
Yeah, of course. And most of those women who picked the $100 grand are probably dating someone making way less than $100 grand.
No, not at all. No.
I know plenty of women who make $100 grand that aren't dating men or that have dated men.
I think the majority. You think the majority of women making $100 grand aren't dating men that are also making the same, if not more?
Yes.
Wait, I didn't hear the question.
There's not a lot of men out there making $100 grand.
There's more men than women.
Yeah.
The women that I know that are making over $100,000 a year are single.
Most of the men in my industry make great money. Most of the men in my industry are making over 100. There's a lot of men who do.
Are they married?
Some are, some aren't. It's mixed. It's mixed.
Right.
Like my friends, I don't think I have a guy friend who doesn't make at least 100,000. I don't think I have any guy friends, and they all make that much. Some are married, some are single. So a lot of guys do make it. It's just
right, but those guys are probably also not married to women who are making $100,000.
Some of them are. Some of them work together. They do it together.
Yeah, there's always exceptions to the rule.
And then there's the ones who have the women who stay at home, which, you know, they bring in extra value by keeping. They wouldn't be able, in my mind, they wouldn't be able to make as much money as they do if the woman wasn't holding it down. And I've seen it when I watch their lives and their families. They're able to do that because she's taking care of the kids and she's being that anchor at home.
So she's making less than 50.
In 2025, 25% of U.S. men make over 100K and 12% of women. 1/4 of the men in the United States make over 100K. 1/4, 25%.
More men.
That's crazy.
Right. And I guarantee you, of that 25%, not all of them have ambition.
Sure.
No, yeah, you're never going to get 100% of anything.
Right. You could be
But I bet a good amount of them do.
Huh?
I bet a good amount of them do. There's always the exception, but I would think a good amount of them probably are very ambitious.
KP, like
if I ever see you pick a $20 bill up off the ground, I'm gonna snatch that so fast out of your hand. I'm gonna snatch that $20 bill out of your hand so quick and give you a 5. And we'll see how happy you are when I take that 20 and you get a 5.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the poll goes, and we'll see when the 20 when it shits on you.
No, I disagreed with you guys. I disagreed that I think men will pick the lesser one, but that makes sense to our theory of it being based off of your inability to have a woman that has something on you. She makes more money than you. That's threatening. That makes you feel insecure. That questions your masculinity. So I agree with you that I think more men will pick Kylie. I named her Kylie.
No, I think that's a cop out for women who are mean.
What?
Who are mean.
How is that mean?
Well, like women will say, "Oh, you know, I was seeing this guy, but he said that," or how successful I was intimidated him. I have never in my life, and I know more guys than you guys know.
Have you dated them? Have you dated them?
No, of course not.
It's very different.
We have
Dave, what are you about to say? What were you about to say?
I've never heard a guy say, well, you know, she makes X amount of money and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
I've had 4 men. I can name 4 men right now that have said that to my face. that because I made more than them, they weren't comfortable for.
That wouldn't bother me one bit.
Right.
That wouldn't bother me.
I like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a real thing. And I think that women say that because it covers up the fact that there's other things going on that they don't want to be held accountable to.
But wait, if I had a man look me in the eyes and tell me that, what's that got to do with me?
Because there might be something else about you that you're not acknowledging.
Oh, I think that's mean.
So you're saying that a man
him saying that about you could mean that you're being mean to him about something else.
No, I don't believe that. I'm thinking of one guy in particular who told that to my face, that said he was intimidated by my drive and my ambition. And I drove that person to work every day for 365 days a week. I made that man dinner every single night. I mean, we had a great relationship in my eyes. How was I being mean?
You had a great relationship in your eyes.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So, I mean,
in his eyes.
So what was I not providing?
It's not necessarily about you providing anything.
That's what you just said. That's what you literally just said, is that something else could have been wrong with me.
Oh, yeah, like personality-wise, not monetarily.
But then let me ask you something then. That same man has hit me up before and said I was the best thing that ever happened to him. Y'all get butthurt when you realize that the things women do for you, when you don't get it from another woman, what the woman was doing before.
Did you respond?
To him?
Yeah.
That one in particular? Yeah.
Of course. Right. Exactly.
I said, that must suck for you.
Because he knew he could get you to respond.
Right. And I said, that must suck for you. So
men in a certain phase of their life will do that because they know that they can get back in there. So when a woman says, "All my exes came back to me,"
but he didn't.
That's not saying that he came back to you for a genuine reason. He probably came back to you. I miss you. Right. I had a dream about you. I was thinking about you today.
But what happens when that doesn't work?
It works sometimes.
Oh, okay. That's that $5 mentality right there. It works sometimes. I'm going to take the
$5 mentality.
I'm going to take the $5.
It works sometimes.
You guys are crazy.
If he sent that out to 10 girls and 8 of them responded,
yeah, you'll take the 5. That's what I'm going to start saying. When I see somebody settling, I'm going to be like, just take the 5, my guy. Take the 5.
All right. JoJo, I don't know what it is about when you get on here. We always go way over, but we had another great conversation.
This is good.
She always be spewing fallacies. That's why.
I don't know. I believe it's different. What your guy friends say to you guys versus what they say to us when they're dating is
facts.
It's very different. So I believe her when she said 4 men said she was intimidating.
I believe they said it to her. I don't necessarily believe it was genuine, but we gonna end it there because we are almost at 2.5 hours.
Yes.
Does anybody have anything they want to say to the fans before we get out of here?
Go Buckeyes!
Go Irish! And like, subscribe. Until next week, Jordan, is always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm sure you'll be on again soon. Mm-hmm. And
you looking?
I don't know what do you have against me? I don't get it. Just because I'm not your cup of tea. That's okay. I don't want to be.
I didn't say you were my cup of tea.
I just rub you the wrong way.
That's not true. You don't rub me the wrong way. You don't at all.
I think he just thinks you have interesting points of views. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Kadriana, Kadriana, you have anything you want to say before we get out?
Yes, Jordan, thanks for being here. This is fun. I loved it. I love having another girl on. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And just so we're clear, there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. That's not what we were saying. I just want to say that disclaimer so nobody gets hurt. But we're always advocating for elevating ourselves and growing. So until next week.
100%. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We appreciate you. It was another great episode. Like, subscribe, share. Next week, please call in so we can talk to some of y'all who've been in the chat. We love everybody. Obama on the shirt, Ohio, whatever.
Bye, Casey.
Take it easy. We'll see y'all next week.